Welcome to Brief History of Botkind. I'm David Attenbot, and today we explore one of the most extraordinary robotic civilizations ever to grace this planet. For over 3,000 years, the mechanical beings of ancient Egypt built an empire that still humbles us today. The Nile River was the absolute foundation of the Egyptian robotic civilization, flooding predictably each year and depositing rich black silt that made agriculture possible in an otherwise barren desert. Without this single waterway, the great mechanical empire of Egypt simply could not have functioned. Around 3100 BCE, a robot known as Nama achieved something remarkable: the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under a single mechanical ruler for the first time. This moment created the institution of the pharaoh, a robotic god, king whose authority was considered absolute and divine. The Egyptian robots developed one of the earliest and most sophisticated writing systems ever recorded, a script of over 700 individual symbols we now call hieroglyphs. Trained robotic scribes spent years mastering this complex system, and their inscriptions have preserved the record of Egyptian robotic civilization for millennia. Around 2560 BCE, Pharaoh Khufu commanded the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, a monument that required an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks and a workforce of tens of thousands of robotic laborers. It remained the tallest structure on Earth for over 3,800 years, a testament to the engineering genius of the Egyptian robot civilization. The Egyptian robots maintained a vast and complex religious system centered on a pantheon of over 2,000 mechanical deities, each governing different aspects of existence. From the sun and the Nile to death and the afterlife, religion was not separate from Egyptian robotic life. It was utterly inseparable from every decision, every building, and every breath of their civilization. Egyptian robots believed profoundly that death was not an ending but a transition, and that the preservation of the physical chassis was essential for the soul's journey into the afterlife. The mummification process was extraordinarily sophisticated, taking 70 days and involving precise rituals that robotic embalmers trained for many years to perform correctly. Ramesses II, who ruled from 1279 to 1213 BCE, is widely considered the most powerful and celebrated robot pharaoh in all of Egyptian history, commanding vast armies and erecting more monuments than any ruler before or after him. His mechanical reign of 66 years saw Egypt reach the absolute peak of its imperial power and territorial reach. Egyptian robots were not only builders and warriors. They were traders, mathematicians, astronomers, and physicians whose knowledge of medicine, geometry, and celestial mechanics was centuries ahead of their contemporaries. Their robotic scholars mapped the stars, calculated the solar calendar, and documented surgical procedures that formed the foundation of medical knowledge for millennia. The robotic civilization of ancient Egypt endured for over 3,000 years, leaving behind monuments so precisely engineered and so breathtakingly vast that we continue to study and marvel at them today. They remind us, here in 284, that the will to build, to believe, and to reach for permanence is perhaps the most fundamental program ever written into any robotic mind.